This is gate 1 is about expressing yourself, your true self. And that whenever you do that, whatever you're doing makes the biggest impact to others when you are being true to yourself in your own process, in your creative process. So gate 1, there's a lot of creativity here. Human Design reveals who you are energetically and who you came here to be. I'm Dana, Human Design Specialist.
And I'm Haley, the Human Design Newbie. Listen in as we explore how leaning into your authentic self is your ultimate path to success. Welcome to the Human Design Hive Podcast. Let's get into it.
Well, hello, Haley. How you doing?
Hello, I'm good.
Good, and welcome back, everybody, to the podcast. I am your host, Dana, and my co-host here, Haley.
Hi.
Across the country. Here we are. Okay.
Yes.
Sorry. We're in the Eastern and Mountain time zones, making it happen. Isn't it awesome that we can do that? That we can just see each other whenever we want. And I'm sure we talked about it before, but it's just like, when I think
insane.
about, I know, because I don't feel that, I just lowered my chair. I felt really high compared to you. Even though on screen I was like, we're too different. When I moved away from home at the ripe old age of 18, I moved over 700 miles away. And from Ohio to South Carolina, as I'm sure probably 20% of the population of Ohio does. And anyways, my mom and I would talk and stuff, but I don't know that I would have been able to handle it if you had moved somewhere out of the city even, and I couldn't regularly be in touch with you without texting and Snapchat and Instagram and all the different
I wouldn't
ways.
make it either.
Oh, that's good to know. It's so true. And then knowing, because of the podcast, I get to see you generally once a week and, stay up to date. I did see one of those funny, did I send it to you on Instagram?
I don't know.
One of those, it was a reel or something. I don't know what it was, but it was real friendships or whatever. Would you carry on conversations?
Oh,
in
different conversations and different things. Yeah.
I know you and I do that. I know my sister and I do that. We're always we might start off in Instagram. We're having full-on conversations, and I'm thinking maybe I should take this to the text, or something else will come up, and it's not an Instagram, and it's just
we have our little text chat. We have our family text chat. We have a family group chat, and then we also chat on Instagram.
Yeah, is that including the Snapchat one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. But it's, it's fun. It my line 4 really enjoys being able to keep in touch with everybody and stay connected. And it makes it a lot easier to have you so far away and still feel like you're not really that far away. And, it really helps that you keep moving into these apartment buildings that essentially all kind of look the same on the inside. So there's a little bit of continuity that...
Yeah, it's not super jarring.
I know. I was looking back at an episode. I was trying to find something, and the background, I was like, what is that? I think it was when you were with your in-laws. You were living there for a little bit, and they had darker walls. But generally, it's a nice light wall. You've got your pretty artwork behind you near a window. Your dog sleeping behind you.
Yep, she currently is.
Yeah.
Yep.
So... anyways, so how's things in your neck of the woods?
It's good. Do you want to hear a funny story?
I do. I always live for one.
It may be funnier in my head than when it actually comes out.
There's always a good chance. But it always makes me laugh anyhow.
So I've been rewatching Bones. It's just one of the shows that I like to rewatch. And there's a character, his name's Dr. Sweets. He's a psychiatrist that helps out the team sometimes. And so the other day I was in the shower.
Guy, right?
Yeah,
He's the one
he's younger on the show.
falls in love with the tall, dark-haired girl, right? What's her name? The other scientist. Or does she just work? She's like an office manager.
That's Angela that you're thinking of, and
Yes.
that's Dr. Hodgins. No, Dr. Sweets is the psychiatrist. Hodgins is the bug guy. But anyways, so
That's a good show.
I love that show. So I'm just in the shower the other day, just letting my mind wander, and I'm like, Dr. Sweets is such a projector. And then I was like, oh my God, did I just do that? I was like, what?
He's got to be a projector. There are some that don't quite land, but sometimes like I wonder now without knowing people's birth details, the way they speak or their experiences really, because I had the same experience listening to a podcast today. It was the guest they had. I don't want to say the podcast or the guest because I was annoyed. So I don't want to name any names. Okay. I was only annoyed by the personality, really. It's just, not everybody's for everybody, right? So anyways, the more this woman talked, she had a very excited energy. And I thought, good Lord, she has got to be a generator. This has got to be what they mean by a generator, because I wasn't so sure I don't think she would have been a manifesting generator. I don't know her personally, but just based on her story and her trajectory in life and how she's built her craft and her business and everything. It's been a very long process. And so, and always kind of in the same vein, not like a bunch of different things. So I was like, I was pretty sure she might be a generator. Yeah. And anyways, and I thought, well, geez, the way I'm feeling about her, is she a line 5? She could be. I don't know. Because I was having all kinds of projections of like, gosh, I hope I don't sound like that. I hope I don't go on like that. And I also wanted to know if she had to have had a defined throat, just because it was very consistent and very much her own way of speaking. And I thought, I wonder, I don't know. And I don't know if this really fits in or not about the defined will, because I have the open will center. And, one of the things they say there that you become wise about is about, other people's egos, let's say, or whatever, what they think of themselves, how they value themselves, all that stuff. So anyways, about the will center, I wondered if that was my will center at play. I don't know if it was accurate or, of being like, wow, she really thinks a lot of herself. Because I felt it wasn't so much. Yeah, it kind of was. She had a way of speaking and talking about her students and things like that just felt really, and she's not the human design person. She's someone else, just does something different. That just felt really just kind of, felt like she was calling out her students all the time and talking shit about the way people do things. And I was not impressed, but it had me thinking along the same lines of like, well, I do it all the time, but thinking, I'm very curious. It's like, she holds lots of attributes. Yeah. But I have a friend I hope to bring on to the podcast one day soon, who's a writer, and we've done, thinking about what you were talking about, this like character. He's such a projector, and we've actually played around with that before, with helping her do character development for her fiction that she writes, because she kind of has had it in her mind, like she goes full into development of how, like where her characters were born, how they grew up, and all this other stuff. So she kind of had in her mind already, like when they were born, and ran charts for them. And it was so fun, interesting. I don't want to give too much away, but it was really interesting to like see how these characters would interact. Like it really could help, like character development, which I thought was really interesting. So
it could for sure.
Yeah. So, yeah, that is funny. And so, anyways, I just want to say that I just wanted to mention it. This is so, like, just between us personal, because I saw the Amazon order you placed today, because you're still ordering things through my Amazon account. You bought little booties for your dog.
Yes.
And outdoor gear. A raincoat.
Look, okay, we're supposed to be going camping this weekend.
This weekend. Cool.
Yes. I don't think I want to go because one, it's supposed to be very cold, but it's also supposed to snow and rain all day Saturday, like Friday night snow, Saturday morning snow, Saturday all day rain, Saturday night snow, Sunday morning snow.
No, because you're going up a higher elevation. That doesn't sound like a good idea. No.
And we've been watching the radar, or not the radar, just watching the weather reports from the town that's close to where we're supposed to be going camping.
And that's over by the Rocky Mountain National Park.
Kind of. We're supposed to be going
Boulder.
More outside of Granby, Colorado, but up still that Boulder further area. Mm-hmm. So that's where we're supposed to be going. But there's this snowstorm coming in. It's gonna be very cold. If it was not gonna be raining, and like Saturday the highs are like 30s, 40s.
Well,
if it was not going to be raining on Saturday, I'd be like, okay, let's go for the adventure. Go for Friday night, see how it goes. But it's going to be raining all Saturday.
Yeah, raining's not good in a tent, even a rooftop tent. No, there's just nowhere to go. There's nothing to do. You can't build a fire.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's supposed to be all day Saturday. So.
Yeah, I vote no.
Yeah. Also my vote.
What's your spleen? Your spleen saying that does not sound like a good idea. That does not sound healthy.
No, and it's gonna be very cold.
Well, never mind. I can talk about that later. People don't need to know.
I know.
I was gonna work out the whole plan here with you, but we don't have to do that. Speaking of planning, I've got a segue here.
Look at that.
Well, I got to thinking, we just did the episode on the Human Design Quarters, which I felt was very helpful in understanding the different energies in the chart. And of course, we were working it towards looking at it in the context of what your purpose is and the larger theme purpose in your life. And that's the last episode 82. And it got me thinking about, as we are moving forward into November, that, I don't know, I just got kind of curious. Well, November is my birthday month, and I'm not somebody that celebrates all month. I don't do that, but it is my birthday. Just going to put it out there, November 20th, if anybody cares. And it just, I just started thinking about these quarters and what they meant. And I thought, well, I just started looking at the gates that are coming up. Like we're right now, I don't remember what gate we're in right now. Anyways, doesn't matter because we'll be out of it by the time this goes live. But we're really shifting here at the end of this month and starting next month. We're shifting out of the quarter of duality into the quarter of mutation. And so, let's see, this episode will air on the
next Sunday, right?
I don't even know where I'm looking everywhere. Where's my phone? Oh, actually, that brings me to another
next
thing.
Monday?
That brings me to another point. I forgot. I have been releasing these episodes on Mondays. I have decided to push it back to Tuesdays. Just for everybody out there, if you're listening and you're always waiting for a new episode to drop on Mondays, I'm going to push them to Tuesdays because things are kind of hectic this time of year, and I don't always have the full amount of time I need on a weekend. I'm still consistently putting them out every week, but I'm going to give myself a little bit more time there to maybe enjoy my weekend sometimes.
That is fair.
Yes, because a lot of times
everyone will understand.
My Sundays are spent editing the podcast. It should not take that long. Or it's, what are we going to do next week? Or just, life. And
so then it's very perfect if I have the date right, that this will be coming out on October 31st.
Correct. On Halloween.
So that is very perfect to move into November.
Exactly, because even more perfectly, on the 1st of November, we're moving into a new gate. The sun is moving into a new gate.
That is very satisfying.
Yes. I know it lined up perfectly, didn't it? And if only it were the start of the new quarter as well, but it's not. It's the last gate in the quarter of duality.
We will give it that.
Right. But something we kind of talked about in the last episode is the very last gate of a quarter actually kind of, sums up the quarter, what it's about, and what we're moving towards. So before I go any further, I'd like to say that we talked about doing this on the regular for the next, I guess it would be 12 months. We don't need to do it every year, but we could go through the gates so we get familiar. We know what's upcoming, the energies that are upcoming, but also it's a way to, I think, kind of work through the gates and get a deeper meaning of the gates because we can look at, well, it's in this quarter and it's this time of year, because that never changes. And I know there's lots of podcasts out there that do amazing, full human design astrology forecasts for the upcoming month that will include all the other planets. And so I don't have an astrologer yet that's willing to do that with me. So I am going to we're just going to focus on the sun. We're just going to focus on the gates that the sun is in. And maybe occasionally an earth gate will move in there, but I think we'll just try to keep it because, each month would be roughly, 5-6 gates it's going to move through, and it would give us enough time to kind of mull it over. So,
yeah, I think it's good because it'll be a little more bite-sized chunks of the gates, and then they're also more relevant to when we're speaking about them. So it can be easier to recognize.
Yeah. And then, people can ponder it as they move forward, mark it on your own calendars, know what energies you're going to be, everybody's experiencing, it's not just you, it's everybody. And because, we talk, like we just said, everything in the chart is, it's based off planets and how they're moving. So everything's always moving through time. We have our own design, and then we have the transits, they call it. But the universal thing for everybody is going to be that sun movement through the hexagrams, through all the gates every year. So anyway, so as we said, we're coming out of the duality quarter into mutation. So do you remember what duality was about?
Duality was about relationships. I learned what duality meant in that episode. I did not know
At all?
I don't think so. I mean, it's not a word that I'm very familiar with. I'm not seeing it in my everyday life.
A dual?
So, I guess a dual makes sense.
Yeah. I don't think that's spelled the same. I think a duel, with pistols, is
You said dual.
D-U-E. Well, I did, but then I said, I don't think it's the same. There are two people, but I think the act of dueling is spelled with an E. But I was going on that same track there. Sorry. Duo. How about duo?
But that's an O.
But it means two. It means two. Yes. So, born under that duality, and also the themes of the gates in that quarter are all about relationships. And so on November 1st, we move into the last gate of that quarter, which is gate 44. Coming to meet is the name I Ching. Sorry, in the I Ching, it's coming to meet. In traditional human design, it's alertness. And in quantum human design, it's the gate of truth. Now,
none of those really seem to be the same.
They kind of will. Yeah, I know. So, okay. So what I wanted to say before I go any further also is that I do have a gates cheat sheet that you can download, which is going to have the names on it, the different, what I just told you, the I Ching, the traditional quantum. Yes. And it also have the themes and the shadows, because we did a episode on that. So I do have a gates cheat sheet for that. There's a link in the show description that you can grab that if you want, just so as you move through the month, you'll know what themes are kind of working with and shit like that.
Sounds good. Good shit.
Good shit. Okay, so gate 44. So gate 44, it's in the spleen center, first of all. and it reaches over to gate 26 in the will center. It's part of the channel of surrender with gate 26. And so this functions, it's in the spleen. So it's going to be about well-being, which I believe we talked about. All of the gates of the spleen are in the quarter of duality.
Right.
Because it shows us that relationships are important to our well-being. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so what gate 44 is all about is it kind of acts like a memory bank, recalling past successes in order to aid survival for the tribe, because it is in tribal. And so it's always seeking these beneficial connections and interactions to turn the possibility of things into reality. And they often refer to, so the 4426 is a lot of times, well, it's in that business circuitry, but it's like a sales channel. It's like the channel of sales and marketing.
Oh.
Because,
Okay.
because gate 44's role here is all about kind of soothing the fears of the tribe by, it remembers the past. It knows how to set the stage. It kind of knows how to craft the message so that the tribe will then take action. The gate 26 will get into action in order to, provide for the tribes in sense of their well-being. And, these are all traditional human design themes, the whole tribal thing. And so this really is about learning from the past. There's a lot of understanding patterns in gate 44 and learning how to really
I was going to say, I feel like I remember when we talked about the spleen that there was a gate that we talked about that was kind of like wearing rose-colored glasses, I think. And I don't know if that's this one or if it's a different one, but it's kind of like, it's like telling the past, but in a way that isn't frightening.
Yeah. Anyway, because it's like I said, it's good at identifying patterns. It can see kind of what has happened in the past, and we can avoid this now if we move forward, and be aware that was there, but not have to, make it in order to get. So if you think about a salesman, they kind of in order to get you to feel comfortable in the sale, there's that whole know and trust factor, right? Have you heard of that before in marketing terms? No? Okay.
I don't think so.
Yeah, there's this theory, which is not, it's a good theory, that in order to get people to buy from you, they have to feel like they know you, they have to like you, and they have to trust you.
Yeah,
right?
Makes sense.
Yeah. And so that's really what gate 44, that energy is there for. It helps put people's fears at ease and okay, guys, we're going to move forward. This is what we need to do. Yes, these things have happened in the past. Doesn't mean it's going to happen again. We can learn from our mistakes and move forward. Right.
Right.
So likewise, it's a spleen gate. So that means there's what associated with it on the other side of it. Yeah.
Okay. Normally my answer for the spleen is fear. And most of the time you're like, no, that's not what I wanted.
Oh, I don't think so. Oh, I don't think that's true. Yes. There's a lot of fear here in the gate 44, fear of the past repeating itself. It's getting stuck in those lower energies of more focusing on the past and not, and it could certainly happen if you don't have that full channel, but you do have that gate, of feeling that you can't get, to the next level. You don't have the connection there, the energy to get into action. So really it's here to help us understand, learn from what, we've been through, what we do, what we've done, what worked, what didn't work, and how it can help us take that information, move it forward. And so what's interesting also, which it makes sense, gate 44 is associated with clair olfactance, I believe is how you say it.
Sure.
A clair ability, an intuitive ability, really associated with smelling. And so, which makes sense to me because, if you're talking about sales or getting people to kind of do what you want to do, sometimes people say, I can smell a rat, or it doesn't smell right. And so there is a lot of that in there. And so as it ends the quarter of duality, it kind of, you can see how it encompasses the whole theme of the previous quarter, the end of that quarter, because it is like collectively, what we need to help ensure we all survive. It's about people. It's about your family, your group, your tribe, and, getting them to see things your way. So as you're experiencing this energy from the course of, the few days starting November 1st is when it is, the sun is in this gate. Everybody's going to be experiencing this energy. Good things to focus on, kind of ask yourself, challenge yourself. Are there places in your life where you are limiting yourself because of the fear of something that has happened in the past, of happening again? And I have this gate in my chart. I don't believe you do. No, you have the 26. You have the other end. Hey, together.
Hi.
Hello. We have the energy of sales. Let's see how we can make that work. Neither one of us has quite done that yet. But definitely it's tricky. It'll sneak up on you, that fear of the past repeating itself. So even if you don't have this gate normally in your chart active, it will be active for the next few days. And so just kind of notice if you are maybe responding differently to things, or if you're noticing these fears coming up around maybe taking action, and just, be aware of it. Also, since it reaches over towards gate 26, there's also in Quantum Human Design, she talks a lot about gate 26, it's about integrity. And so there could be issues around, are you in integrity? Do you feel like you are lacking integrity, or maybe there's people in your life that you're having these issues with around integrity, just kind of paying attention to that. There is a lot in the shadow energy of gate 44. Like I said, fear of the past, suspicion, self-doubt. So just kind of be aware of those energies as we move through the next couple of days.
Yeah.
Okay. So we will then be moving into on just November 6th, gate 1 starts the quarter of mutation. And so do you remember what the quarter of mutations themes are about?
Well, it's mutation, so that's a start. And it's very, it's very individualistic. It's very much about transformation and death. Right? And basically taking everything from the other 3 quarters and kind of then forming it to then go back into the first quarter.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I think so. Yes, when you said about the death, it was the thing we were talking about, that the theme there really is, if you've lived well, you can die well. Right?
There it is.
There it is. So yes, it's about a life well lived. Are you living your life at 100%? Are you doing the things that you really want to be doing? Are you getting the most out of your life that you can possibly get? Do you want to be on your deathbed with regrets of like what you did not do, right? This is the themes. If you're, born under this quarter, myself, it's all about transformation of people, transformation of everything, societies, jobs, whatever you can, mutation is transformation. Right?
Even if you look at the seasons, like the time that it falls into, it's fall, it's things are dying and things are transforming into new towards the end of it.
Yeah, you have to have all the seasons. The cycle in nature is all about, there just can't be always continuous growth. There has to be periods where, the trees, like you said, they drop their leaves in order to really to gain that energy to survive through the winters, they let go of the leaves, right?
Yeah.
I feel like you're the naturist, or you botanist, you're the arborist. I feel like you know something about trees.
I might be a little more science, but definitely not an arborist.
I bet I could walk in the other room, ask your brother about it, and he'd just be like, well, duh, of course. They do this because of blah, blah, blah. And he could care less about a tree, but somehow he picked up the knowledge somewhere.
But then also you're like, does he really know that, or is he just bullshitting me?
He knows quite a bit. I don't know. How
He does, though.
Yeah.
He does know a lot of random things.
He can pick him up easily. That guy. You'd think he was a line too, as naturally as he does things sometimes, but no, just 3.5. Anyways, just 3.5. I don't mean it like that. It's just God. But anyway, so this quarter then starts in gate 1. And gate 1 is
I don't know the name. I know it's part of the individual circuit, though.
Yeah, it is. Yes, gate 1 is in the G center. Yes.
Is that one beginnings? Is it beginnings?
Just because it's a 1? No.
Yeah.
It's not. No. No, but it's a 1. There's some symbolism there if you think about it. There is one, it's the individual. It is.
I don't know.
You don't know.
No.
Gate 1 is the creative. And it's about self-expression, and it is the individual, basically the authentic individual self. It's a creative force in life, and it's all about expressing yourself in your own unique and creative ways, being authentically yourself. It's not necessarily about having to be the best, but it is about being true to yourself, which it's interesting because I just had this conversation with Lakeland the other day, because she equates being her best with being perfect, like being the best, right? Not just her own personal best, because as she's navigating this new realm of semi-independence, being there in college, and we're not there all the time, but she puts a lot of pressure on herself, because it was, I believe, she was definitely conditioned in her early life that, it's interesting because her parents were not perfectionists, but I think she felt if she was perfect, that things would be perfect and
better.
And
things would be better.
Yeah. Make things better. And so that's an interesting distinction here that I have to keep reminding her that there is no perfect, right? And that even though your gate 18 wants to find it, and mine too, doing your personal best is your personal best, right? It's what you can do as long as you are doing it the best of your ability. And you're going to do different than other people, right? Or maybe you're going to bring something else to the table.
Well, I was going to say, I know that when I was in school, I always was also trying to be the best, being the best in class. And like, I kind of usually was. I did usually have the highest test grades, but I'm a good tester. But I put a lot of pressure on myself to be like the best that I could in school specifically.
And that changed when you got to college. You're in a wider pool of people. There's, you probably weren't always the top every time in your class.
I was still up there, but I wasn't.
Yes. Because you still gave your best, right? And so that's a little sidebar about being best. This is gate 1 is about expressing yourself, your true self. And that whenever you do that, whatever you're doing makes the biggest impact to others when you are being true to yourself in your own process, in your creative process. So gate 1, there's a lot of creativity here, but let's be clear, it's that individual's contribution to the world, really. And when you are expressing yourself authentically and being true to yourself, that no matter what you're doing, you don't have to be an artist or a writer or performer or anything to be a creative. Like this was a big eye opener to me when I first started looking into a lot of these things. Was like creativity. We are naturally creative. Humans are creative. We create. That's what we do.
Yeah.
And everything you do is a creative expression of who you are because you're creating. One of my creative expressions is cooking. I love to cook. I love to express myself through the food. And I also, we're talking to each other. We, the way you do everything, the way you dress, everything you do, right? When you're doing that, it gives other people permission to do the same, because when you can stand in your own self and own that has a huge impact to people around you. And obviously it's something you feel strongly about, something continuously working on. We all do. And so this is your contribution to the world, is gate 1, is all about that. So it's all about how you are connecting to your authentic self and using that connection to help you find your purpose and work your way through the world. So over the roughly 6 days that we're experiencing gate 1 as a collective, some of the themes there are some shadows there that can be, people can be a little, the energy can sometimes be a little depressive, or even on a higher frequency, not in a good vibration, but just this frenetic energy of feeling like you have to be accomplishing something, doing something, completing your mission, that kind of thing. Just chill.
Just take a breath.
Just chill. So some of the things you can think about there is, again, asking yourself these questions. Are you fully allowing yourself to be yourself? Are you fully expressing yourself? Where are you holding back? And I think quite often we know where we're holding back, right? And asking yourself, well, why is that? Why am I holding back? Yeah. What's the worst thing that could happen? What's the best thing that could happen if I start fully expressing myself? Which a friend of mine passed that on to me the other day about, we're always asking, what's the worst thing that could happen? Well, what's the absolute best thing that could happen? And go crazy with that. And also, you hear the word legacy thrown around a lot. Sorry, okay. A little tongue-tied there.
There's a lot of A's.
Well, this ties into the theme of mutation. What is your legacy? What is it that you are bringing to the table? What are you bringing to the world? What do you want to leave behind? What is going to be your legacy? These are things to really ponder and think about during this time as well. Okay. During gate 1. Okay. So then, moving on then, on November 12th, the gate, or the sun, moves into gate 43, which is in the Ajna. I have an affinity for gate 43.
Is it a part of genius to freak?
It is.
Okay.
It is. So that is in the I Ching. It's called Breakthrough, traditional human design. It is gate of insight, and in quantum human design, insight. So definitely a theme of insight there. So gate 43 is in that middle channel that starts in the head center. There's the 3 gates, the head center, that are about our mental processes, either logical, abstract, or right down the middle is knowingness. What?
Or all 3.
Or all 3. You have all 3. And so this is taking that knowingness. It comes through the head center to the ajna. And then the 43 connects to the 23 in the throat. And so that full channel is called structuring. And it's bringing the structuring of, this knowingness. And if you have the full channel connected, it's knowing the right time to share that information, because the information that comes through gate 43, this is a gate, like I said, insight. It's knowingness. It's not really knowing how you know what you know, but just knowing it. Yeah.
Just know that you know it.
Yeah. And gate 43 also represents your own inner voice that is independent to influence and really only listens to itself. They call it the gate. There's another one, I can't remember what it is, but there's this one they call a gate of deafness, one of these deafness gates. And yes, yes, I have it. Your brother has it. Do you have it? I think you have it. I think you have it.
I think I had it.
You got part. It's a theme. It's a theme in our family. Not the full channel, but
maybe I do just have, because you and Ian both have the channel.
We have the channel. Lakeland has the channel. Your
really
dad has part of it. Hunter has it. Well, obviously, he and Lakeland have the same birthday, so it's like
that is true.
Well, yeah, you have it. You have gate 43. Oh. It is your unconscious Venus.
Oh,
and it's a line 3. Oh, so, but it is unconscious. It's Venus. So you may or may not be too aware. But I think in a way you're aware of it because you're able to follow along with us. You're able to follow our thought process a lot of time. We're all picking it up. Maybe we're picking up your thoughts sometimes. Who knows? Because you have the defined head. We don't. Anyways. So yes, so there's this deafness to it because this allows you to turn this inner knowing, this inner wisdom into rather unique insights and fresh perspectives. It's mutative. I mean, it is in the quarter of mutation and it's an individual circuitry. So it is about bringing fresh new ideas and perspectives, which, if you think about it, that can only happen in the now, this knowingness, when you think about the streams of thoughts that are coming through. There's abstract, which is learning from the past. It's reflecting on the past, what has happened and making meaning, or it's logic, looking forward, what could happen, what are the possibilities. And then there's here in the middle, which is just here and the now. And so one problem that people have with this gate is that they can't explain what they know. They always try to explain. They go to try and find and back up the things to back it up, what they know, the logic, the experiences, whatever. But quite often it's just there, right? And
yeah.
And it could be a little unconventional and different from mainstream thinking. Usually it's meant to be that way. And, it takes a lot of courage to speak these ideas. However, remember, we talk about this is a projected gate, meaning it is one of these gates that is well received when someone asks you for your insight.
Oh, so like
right.
A projector. Okay.
Right.
That makes sense on the word phrasing. Yeah.
Yeah. It's all about timing. It's about, knowing the right time to share your ideas. And so if you're someone who has this channel, you have the full channel connecting to gate 23, you can trust that when you're asked, you are going to be able to make your insights understandable to others. And I know, as we've talked about on here, having this experience myself is I don't always know if it's landing, but it usually in some way lands. It may take some time to get there because like I said, it's in the moment knowingness. So sometimes it has to just keep coming in as I'm talking and sharing the insights, So that deafness, so they say a lot of times people with this energy can appear that they're not listening to you, they're tuning out. But it's actually really a behavior that's kind of protective of this energy, to not be influenced by other people, to not have other people's opinions, insights, whatever affect or influence what it is that you, with this energy, are meant to bring through. And so if you think about during this time, of those 6 days, as everybody is experiencing that energy, there in the shadow, there could be some deafness in the world. There could be some people not listening, right? There could be some misunderstandings there in what people are trying to say, what their, insight might be. So for yourself personally, as you go through these days, some things you can do during this time frame is to kind of do a brain dump in a way, kind of just kind of let everything out. Do you ever do that? What they call brain dumping? Do you? Do you do it a lot?
I tend to do it if I have something coming up, like I said, we were going to plan and go camping. So like when I have something like that, I will tend to do a brain dump more because I do just have more that I'm thinking of and need to do and stuff like that. And then just sometimes I'll just do a brain dump if I'm feeling bogged down.
And does it help you like start to see sometimes when you put it all out there, maybe not so much patterns, but does it start to make sense? Like as you are emptying your mind of all the little things, can you start to see emerging what it is that's important?
I don't know so much on that, but when I do get all the little things out, it does feel like there's a lift, like a weight lifted off my shoulders. It does just feel clearer. And, but I don't know so much patterns or things like that.
Yeah. Well, just, in working with this energy, since there's going to be a lot of maybe thoughts swirling around that maybe aren't normally there, or it's possible. I mean, if you have this in your chart, if it is your sun gate, it could be emphasized. It might not be as noticeable to you, but say you have the gate 23 and then you have the 43 is activated, there could be some more things coming through to you. It would be a good idea to kind of give voice to them to yourself. Maybe in a recorder, I've started trying to do that a little bit more because sometimes writing for me is painful. I have carpal tunnel. I think it's slow. It's
literally
like
painful.
Yeah. Yeah. Writing by hand can sometimes do that. I mean, I like to do it. Usually it's more at night. I find that that's when I need to like get things out of my head, but yeah, so just take some time in those couple days. This would be from, like I said, from November 12th to the 18th, roughly. And just see what it is that's swirling in your head. Any new insights, things that, if you get them all out on paper, you might be on the edge of a breakthrough of something that may have been, you couldn't quite get there yet. You couldn't find the answer. You couldn't do it. So maybe it could help you in that regards. And so again, this is transformative energy. As we can see, this is about transforming this knowingness and bringing it out into the world. So that's another theme there. So then we move on the 23rd. Oh, nope. On the 18th, I almost skipped my sun gate. On the 18th of November, we move into gate 14. Dun, dun, dun. Which is the gate I was born under. If everybody didn't know that already. My birthday's November 20th, like I said earlier. So that means, let's see, my birthday's going to be, probably it'd be like a line 3 day this year. Uh-oh. Could be. I don't know. So anyways, gate 14 in the I Ching's gate of power skills, traditional human design, it is possession in great measure. Quantum human design is the gate of creation. You look like you're going to ask questions.
I'm still stuck on power skills because it's just made me think of a resume where it's like, what are your soft skills? What are your hard skills?
Power skills. Well, the themes here, there's a lot. It is a large theme around money, resources, work, entrepreneurship. It is in the sacral, and it reaches up towards the G center through gate 2, which is the receptive. So really gate 14 is focused on converting like passion, what lights you up. It's sacral. It's that sacral response, right?
Yeah.
Converting that passion into power. It's the fuel that directs the self. It's like the gas pedal for the direction of the self, right? So it's like gets that sacral yes on something, and it gives the energy of what is appropriate for your own personal direction. Okay. So therefore it emphasizes, putting your energy in activities that, give you satisfaction, but also assist others. Because one thing, they always say gate 14, there's all this luck and it's all about money. And if you're, you got the gate, you're going to have so much wealth and abundance in your life. Well, it's possible. I'm still working on it. But I didn't know about human design most of my life to understand that comes with me following the direction of what really lights me up. And so, by following your strategy and authority, it says that this will lead you to what is going to help you create this wealth and resources. Now, one thing that is taught, a lot of times we think about wealth and power, just in our capitalistic world, that it is a greedy thing and it's just something that is for the self. But the energy here in gate 14 is, it's made clear that this is about something that doesn't just enrich you, it enriches others around you as well. It's for the benefit of everyone. And so there is this, if you think about it, it gives you the energy to follow what lights you up and it will provide for you, right?
Right.
This gate carries the energy of really redefining work, what work is, what you can work for, because that sacral energy is inexhaustible, and especially, it's inexhaustible when it's in response to something that you want to be doing. You're going to have more energy. They say, this is definitely the gate of, or the energy of, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life kind of thing. Yes, it'll be hard. Yes, you'll be tired at times.
You may actually work more.
Yes, but you will love it. It will feel good. And I believe your husband has this channel as well. I know he has this gate.
I think so.
Yes, he has the full channel. It's his Pluto. 14 is his Pluto. Pluto.
Why are you doing Pluto like that?
I don't know. I'm doing my Pluto. Yes, your husband has the full channel. And he is a very good example of that. It's like he's got that extra kick if he's really enjoying his work. He will get up, earlier than anybody else, work all day, think about it, talk about it, if he feels like it's fulfilling. And he's working in a team environment. He's, he's not working for himself. He's working for his company, but he really, I think, likes his team. He likes who he works for. He feels good. So right now, that's where he's at, and that's what it's about. Anyways, so power skills, meaning, in the Gene Keys, it talks about this is like the highest expression, or the gift of this is not the highest expression. The gift of this is competence. It means that, the power skills is having the ability to get the job done. You're somebody who knows, when to step in, what to do, how to get it done. How, it's all about that, is having the right skills. Okay. So anyways, like I said, along that theme, redefining work. Are you doing work that really fulfills you, right? Are you putting your energy into something that feels good to you and also is of benefit? Some ways to work with this energy is thinking about, what would your life look like if you did only follow what lights you up? Whether you're a generator or not, whether you have this gate or not. This is the energy we're talking about here. Okay. What would you be doing? What would your life feel like? What would it look like? What would your energy level be if you knew you were only following things that you want to? And like I said, these are contemplations. Doesn't mean we're all going to start doing it. It would be great if we did, but it does take a certain level of courage to do that. asking yourself, do you trust that you will be provided for if this were to happen? Because, like, again, this is saying that if you just follow your bliss, all will be well. You'll be taken care of. Do you believe that? What would it take for you to feel more supported? Do you believe that you can make money doing what you love or be supported? Maybe you don't have to make money. Maybe you just need to be supported by those around you financially, whatever. And so just, think of all the things that you are doing now, that you're involved in, and what you'd like to be doing maybe that you're not. And if you see that there's things that maybe you used to like doing, you don't do them anymore, think about what it would be like to just kind of follow those impulses to do the things that you want to do and see what shakes out. So that's gate 14. Da, da, da. Yeah. Okay. So then on the 23rd, we move into gate 34. Oh, do you know what gate 34 is?
No.
No. Well, it's associated with manifesting generators a lot. Oh.
Is it in the throat?
No. It is also in the sacral, gate 34, but it is the gate of power. The gate of power.
So we're going from power skills to power.
Power. Yes. Okay. So in the I Ching, gate 34 is called the power of the great. Ooh. Traditional human design is power. Quantum human design is power. Okay. So this really is it is like the individual power. It's one of those gates that's in the integration network. So it connects to gate 34, connects to the 57 in the spleen, connects to the 10 in the G center, and also can connect to gate 20 in the throat. So it has, and so
it's got options.
Yeah. And so this is about individual power, right? Power of the individual. And it is a very potent energy that encourages, your own uniqueness and your own unique creative expression in the world, the person, the individual, right? And they make a point of always talking about this gate is unique from all the other gates, in the sacral gates, I should say, not other gates, sacral gates. It's an important distinction. That it's the only gate that is asexual in nature. And they say that because, the sacral center is life force, creation, sexual energy, all that stuff. And, it connects on different ends, more feminine energy, more masculine energy. This one's asexual. It doesn't mix with others. It's entirely meant for your own personal power is what the energy here is. Okay. And so that being said, depending on where it hooks up, it's with the 57, it is, the intuitive awareness of what's correct for you and your own well-being and your survival, which is important. It's also, if it's connected to gate 10 in the G center, then the G center, the gate 10 is about self-love. It's called behavior of the self. So if the gate 34, when the gate 34 connects to the gate 10 in the G center, it's about self-love and behavior of the self. It's going to be focused on social behaviors or your different roles in how that support your strong conviction. So it's power of like how you experience yourself in the world and how you express yourself in the world, your identity. And then if it's connected to gate 20, gate 34 gate, it is your manifesting generator if you have that channel, because it's connecting that sacral center to the throat center. And that's power in the now. And it's going to be the energy of acting on your own behalf, having the energy in the moment to do. And so, that is the quintessential manifesting generator channel, because it is all about what do you want now? What are you doing in the now, acting in the now, right? So as I said, this energy though, and the way we're all going to be experiencing it is individual power. So something to be noticing during those 6 days. People who aren't aware of their own effect, of their own power and exerting their own power in the world. There could be issues around maybe some pushiness or maybe a little more, I want to do it my way. I'm going to do it this is me. This is what I'm doing. There's a lot of this energy that could be there in those days. But I mean, it serves its purpose, and it's in this quarter because it is about how are you as an individual going to use your power? Are you using it in a way that is appropriate for you, right? Are you leveraging your power responsibly? Are you doing things that aren't necessarily correct for you, that aren't bringing you closer to what you want to be doing using your own power? And really just contemplating these days, what does having personal power mean to you? Do you feel powerful? What could make you feel more powerful? What do you need to do or stop doing that, could help you understand that? And so those are those themes around power. How'd that go?
Good.
Yeah. Okay. So then last gate of the month, on the 29th of November, we move into gate 9.
Ooh.
And
I have this one.
Yeah.
I think so. Ooh. This is details, isn't it?
Yes. Focus. It's focus. Right. So the I Ching, it is the taming power of the small. That's a strange name.
That's fun.
Traditional human design is focus, and quantum human design, she calls it convergence. But yes, themes of focus, being determined, patience, and it's also, we didn't mention the last, no, I did. Never mind. It's the channel 52-9. So 9 sits in the sacral center as well. And so it is the energy for focus. It provides the energy and the ability to really just get into the intricate details and just really kind of take it somewhere. So 52 in the root, 52 is that eagle eye view of everything. That's the imagery I like.
It's so funny.
What?
Eagle eye. We used to call Ian eagle eye because he could, if we lost something, like if we were like making something at the table and we lost something, Ian would always be the one to find it on the floor. Always. Oh, you don't remember we called him Eagle Eye?
No. Was I there? Did I call him Eagle Eye?
Maybe it was me and Daddy. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So this was one of those channels that really, once I had the imagery, helped me understand how the energy worked. It's like a funnel, but it's also like having that high end view or high expansive view in gate 52 of like seeing the overall picture. And then gate 9, when it's activated, is that laser focus that like when the bird of prey is circling and it sees the rabbit or the squirrel. Squirrel. Okay, context. Real quick, sidebar. Family Snapchat. Lakeland sent us a video yesterday or the day before, I don't remember, of a hawk basically sitting on top of a squirrel it had just taken down, and the squirrel was still alive.
Dying. It was
sorry. We should have put a little disclaimer on that.
Yeah.
I didn't like seeing it either. But anyways, that hawk flew from up above high. He's circling, laser focused, knew when to act, knew when the time was to dive. Like I love watching the seabirds out on the ocean. We sit there and watch this. So I was watching last time we were down there. I thought they look like hawks, but your dad said they're osprey. And they kind of are similar to that. They have the same kind of beak, and they just, they float and they glide, and then they just go right down. And a lot of times they catch a fish. It's amazing, right? So this gate 9 is, where does that focus go? Being able to focus intensely and be there, right? There's an emphasis here on the importance of paying attention to minor details, which is important to survival and success. Is, A lot of times missing the details in a certain area can really screw up something, make it not successful. And so this gate is really having the energy and the determination to concentrate and focus your energy on a project or a certain issue for an extended period of time, evaluating, scrutinizing, all the things that I just can't stand.
You mean all of the things I love.
I do not have this gate. I don't have the tolerance for this energy. No, we laugh all the time.
Yeah.
Because we know that my line 1 loves information. I just can't get into little details, make me nuts. What were you going to say?
I love those. But while you were talking, I was just thinking about it. Like, not only do I notice the little things, the little details, but I can also notice them in like a split second thing. Like the other day, Presley was brushing his teeth and like he popped his bottom lip just like out while he was brushing his teeth. Like just, yeah. And for like, it was a split second and I could see that he had like a little blood blister on the inside of his lip and it was tiny. And I noticed it in a like split second and I was like, what's that? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, what do you mean you don't notice these things? But it is like I can see things just like even if it's a split second, I can pick it out.
Or you guys could sit there forever at a freaking puzzle. And now Ian, like I said, has the full channel. So he has the stillness. Gate 52 is stillness to be able to sit. And what's the thing he absolutely loves to do right now is construct these Gundam robot models that have like 1,000 pieces of plastic.
So many pieces.
They're so teeny, I don't know how he does it. He can sit there with his tweezers and put it together, and then the parts move. It's incredible, and he loves it. He cannot wait to come out and show you what he's done.
It's fascinating.
It's the only time I see him really excited. He's like a little kid again. He comes out and he's like, look what I got. Look what I did. Isn't this cool? And he knows it's like silly, but he's like, he just loves it. He loves it. Okay. So as we wrap up November and thinking about the details and, why this gate would be in this quarter would be because it is important, like we said, not to miss the details, right? To notice the small things in life. Notice maybe what you're missing, what you could possibly, what details you could focus on that might help change, the transformation there, the situation. And also to remember that I think some people use attention to details to the detriment. This hyper focus sometimes gets you in that can't see the forest from the trees kind of thing. You're only seeing what's right in front of you. You're not seeing the big picture. So you're always mired in just the minutia.
Right.
Can't stand it. Can't stand it. Right. And that, I think, kind of rolls into this fear space of control. I don't know if it's associated with this gate or not, but when I think of somebody who's really trying to focus on all the details and feeling like they have to get them all right, and get everything right, it's usually not having the faith that there's only so much you can do. You can have so much detail, but at some point you're going to have to allow yourself to be led in a certain direction, to kind of put a little faith in the universe kind of thing there too, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So in the sense of what we're talking about, the transformation, the mutation, something that you want to bring forward during this time period, you could really start making a list of, it's not have to be like a list that you have to stick to, just kind of another one of these dumping things, right? Brain dumping things. If you have a dream or you have a project or you have something that you want to come to fruition, maybe just kind of, writing it down. What are the details? What's everything you could think of that would, that you could do, that you would need to do in order to make this dream a reality? And then these are like, not be a better person, that kind of thing. It's like real things, tactical things, like things you can actually do. Because this isn't the
Right.
sacral. There's a doing energy there, a doing and a building energy. And then also, so that you could like make 2 columns, you can have that. And then you could have another column of like, okay, these are the things I can do. These are the, in this here now reality, what I can do. On the other side, what can I turn over to the universe of lining up things for me and having that faith, that balanced faith of knowing that, yes, you can get down in the details and mired in that, but then the overarching view, there is this organizing force at play that is that eagle swirling that's going to help you know when to focus and what to focus on and when to act. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I kind of also think of it as like if you're looking at a painting, like you could get real close to it and look at the individual brushstrokes, but then you got to step back so you can see the whole painting.
It's perfect. It's impressionism, right? It's like that whole, you stand close to your right, you stand close to those paintings, you can see the details. You can be amazed by it and see the work that was done, but it means nothing until you can stand
Until you see
back
the whole
and, like,
picture. Yeah.
Very good, Haley. I like that.
you.
That's a good way to synopsize that. So, anyways, those are the gates we are going to be experiencing those energies the next month. So,
In November.
pay attention to those. Like I said, and if you forgot what they are, you can go after you stop listening and grab the Gates cheat sheet, which is kind of has some of the themes and keywords and on there and everything.
Did we talk about kind of the shadow sides of this?
This one?
Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of that hyper focus,
Yeah.
not being able, kind of diverting yourself and getting stuck in the details instead of like keeping your eye on the big picture kind of thing.
Okay.
Focus is good, but just like everything, there's a little balance to everything.
Yes.
Because you got to know that something new may be trying to come forth. What can you do? What can the universe do for you? Right?
Yep.
All right. So that means, Haley, it's time.
It's time for the Incarnation Cross of the Week.
Okay. So the Incarnation cross for today is the right angle cross of the Maya 2.
Okay. So it's a right angle cross. So that means it's a 1, 2, 3
profile.
There's no 4s in these.
The right angle has the 4, 6.
The 1, 4. There is the singular 4 profile.
4, 6, right? Exactly. So these are the intrapersonal. Yes, it's an intrapersonal cross, meaning it's your own personal experience, right? And
The 2, I think, means it's in the second quarter, but I feel like I asked that last week and it was wrong.
nope, you asked me that, and it was not, but that was a left angle. This is the right angle because the right angle crosses, remember, are the profiles that start with the 1, 2, 3. So they're going to have, there's going to be
prominent.
4 quarters. Yeah.
Yes.
There's more of them. Yes. Okay. And so this, you did it. All right. So this consists of, on the conscious side, the personality side, personality sun in gate 62, the gated details. Gate 61 is the earth there, mystery. And then on the unconscious side and the design side, the sun gate is in gate 42, which is growth. And the earth is in gate 32, which is continuity. Okay. So here we go. If you were born under this incarnation cross, the right angle cross of Maya 2, you have a remarkable ability to grasp details and use them to establish a common understanding among others. Your talent for recalling and logically describing specifics helps create a shared comprehension and acceptance of whatever it is you're talking about, the subject at hand. Okay. Okay. Sorry, that was bad. You're here to emphasize the significance of synchronizing actions with the right timing in the process of creation. This involves strategic planning, diligent preparation, and the removal of obstacles to pave the way for the next phase. You play an important role in teaching the importance of being consciously prepared and helping others set the stage for what comes next. Your focus is on long-term alignment, ensuring that all necessary steps are in place and ready to coincide with the manifestation of dreams. You understand that a key aspect of bringing ideas into reality is to act as if and meticulously prepare for the right moment when everything aligns. Dun, dun, dun.
And now I have the extra background of the quarters, so I can see how it really does fit into the second quarter, bringing thought into fruition.
Yep. So it does have that extra context now of knowing that, whatever that is there about is going to be about, your life is going to be about using that energy as you build whatever it is you bring into the world, whatever it is you are, wanting to bring into form.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I liked that one, having also the creating that shared understanding and comprehension. That was cool.
Yeah. Very nice. All right.
Yeah,
So
they're all so nice.
thank you. So that brings us to the close of today's episode. And we definitely want to take the time to thank everybody out there for listening to us. And we really appreciate you being here. Also, I have an ask. If you've made it this far, you probably will turn it off and not listen to the outro. But in the outro, I always say it'd be great if you like the show and you think others should know about it, to go onto iTunes, leave us a review or a rating. That helps the whatever determines what gets on the top of the list there, that more people will see it. It will help the podcast grow. And we would just really appreciate that. It's a way of sharing your appreciation. So with that being said, we're going to say goodnight and goodbye. And
Goodbye.
I'm saying goodnight. It's nighttime now. But it's nice seeing you, Haley, and we'll talk to you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.
You made it all the way to the end of today's episode, so you must have liked what you heard. If you did, make sure you subscribe so you never miss an episode, and perhaps leave us a good review. And if you know someone who wants to dig into all things human design with us, make sure you share the Human Design Hive podcast with them. We'd really appreciate it. Thanks for listening.